just going to do a quick friction fire demonstration for you with this hand drill set. But all I'm doing right now is just making a little divot with my knife, and the spindle is going to set right in there. Dry surface to work on. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to set the spindle in there, and we're just going to do what's called burning in. And this is just where you test your form, test the spindle, test the set, get everything so it's really comfortable. If you need to scooch up a little bit, go ahead and do so. I gotta get my knee, there we go. So now I'm gonna burn in. This isn't to get a coal, this is just to warm the set up and to see how it performs. And the technique you're seeing me use right now is called floating. This is where you don't go all the way down the spindle, but you can actually sustain the level that you're at and also add a little bit of downward pressure while you do it. So this is nice because you can just hang out here all day long, heat up the set real good, and then when you're ready, go for a coal and work your way back up. You don't have to go all the way down, stop, and then come up, because every time you stop, you're losing heat. So we're getting good smoke now. We're getting nice dark brown to black dust. That's a good indication that this is gonna get a coal. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop. And sometimes you wanna check up here, the spindle, because on some of these spindles, like this, some of these spindles like this horsetail, it's also known as Canada fleabane, will get a coal right in there. But we didn't. So I always tap my dust out just like that. Take your spindle, stick it in your pocket. Don't set it on the wet ground. And then now we're going to carve in our notch. Let's go ahead and score it just like that. And maybe a little. Score it just like that. You can make things easy sometimes and just use a Leatherman saw. I've actually found that using a stone knife is a lot quicker than using a knife, because it abrades and cuts at the same time. It's actually pretty fascinating. If any of you have ever tried it, you know what I mean. So there we go, we have our notch. You want to make sure that the notch comes to a point. This one doesn't really come to a point, but that's okay. I think it's still going to get a coal. It just helps if you have it come to a point, and you don't want it to go more than halfway in, which I kind of did there, but it's okay. We'll see. No demonstration is perfect. So we're going to go ahead and run this and see if we can get a coal. This is the time to first check your tinder and make sure it's nice and fluffy. This is basswood. Basswood breaks up really nicely if it's retted right. Basswood also makes really, really strong cordage. So that's good. That's good enough for my liking. Just like that. And you want to make a little bird's nest with it, because you're going to want to put that coal down in it and not on it. So it'll help to ignite the tinder bundle better. if it's inside rather than just being on top. There we go, so kind of like that. We'll set that to the side in the sun. Let it dry out some more. So we have a coal already, but I'm going to keep going just because I want more dust on that. So the more dust you have, the bigger the coal's going to be. And these hand drill coals, sometimes they're just a little too small. Tap your dust out on top of it. Okay, so we have a coal. So don't set your set in the mud. Set it on a dry, warm rock, or stick it in your pocket. Don't set it on the ground if you can avoid it. So now, bring your tinder bundle to your coal, never the other way around. And then we'll just let this thing congeal. It's actually ready to go, but we're going to take some dust and play around with it here. So if you've got dust laying around, you can just put the dust into the coal. Scrape it all up into the coal. Make that coal bigger. Okay, so now, just take it just like that. Come on. Dump it right on in. So see which way the wind is going. It's going that way. So we don't want to blow that way. You want to work with nature. And it's going to go. I know it's going to go, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in. So you always want the mass of the tinder bundle that is not ignited on the leeward side, meaning the way the wind's going. So I'm going to get some sticks because I didn't prepare my kindling properly. There she is. Now it may look like I'm smothering this, but I'm using pine bark, so it should go up. We will see. There we go. Hope you could see that.